Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Friday, March 19th, and of course I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hey, you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Truth Social, TikTok, I don't know, all the other social media sites by searching Larry Steinhouse, and I look forward to connecting to you there. Hey, if you're watching online, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that share button. Let everybody know what a great time they're going to have watching the show, so hit that share button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. And by the way, if you're commenting from a group and it's not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up on the dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now fan page and like it and comment there so I can recognize you. Hey, real quick, a whole bunch of people have joined us this morning. It looks like we have Robin and Moshe and Michael and Linda and I don't know who else we got here. We got Mick and Robin. Wow, thanks so much. I totally appreciate you guys watching. All right. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, on today's show, of course, we're going to be talking about the futures update. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk. We're going to be talking about home sales. We're going to be talking about Apple's VR headset, the new headset they're coming out with, and we're going to be talking about $40 billion going to Ukraine, because we certainly don't need that money. What do we need it for? Let Ukraine have it. All right, let's real quick. A couple of people joined us. Wow, so a bunch of people: Jeff and Charles and James and Jose and John. Thanks again for watching. All right, it was close yesterday. It was really close. Oh man, if the market would have closed down below 31,000, I would have been really scared. It probably would have been doomsday for stocks. Look. We did go below, the 31,300, which was a scary number for me. But we held the ground above 31,000, but it came close, and it came close, really, really close. We should have a nice day today based on the fact that we stayed above that 31,000 point level. Now, it's interesting because that's exactly what happened. We're going to be heading back to 33,000 soon. You know, I said that normally after a big drop, what happens, I said this yesterday, normally after a big drop in the morning, what happens the day after a big drop? In the morning, it drops again, and then usually it turns green in the afternoon. And I also said that I had a mixed feeling about this yesterday, and sure enough, both happened, right? I don't know if you realized it, but basically what happened was the Dow opened down, and then about 3 o'clock, it was up about 160 points, but then it eventually closed down 237 points. So it was funny because I was kind of right on both counts. It happened exactly the way I said it was going to happen, where the stock did go up, but then I had that weird feeling, and I mentioned it, I said, I don't know, and sure enough, it didn't happen. All right, so it does look like the poachers were out making all the money yesterday. So what poachers do is they grab a quick profit when the stock goes up a point or two. Facebook, for example, was a perfect example of this. It was up 2 points and then down 2 points and then up 2 points again and then down 2 points again. Apple was an unusual mover yesterday. It looked up near the end of the day, but it didn't do that great. When I looked at it, I noticed that the volume was over 113 million shares. Now, I do have to say that the stock always has a lot of volume, but this week has been crazy volume. You know, people are dumping the stock, but who's buying it? Now, I'm going to guess that we're going to hear a big player bought a bunch this week on the downturn. You know, maybe it'll be, who knows? Maybe it'll be, what's his name? Warren Buffett. Who knows? We won't know for a while, but I'm going to watch for it because I really think somebody bought a whole bunch of it this week. Now, Boeing is also trying to rally on good news this week, but the market keeps dragging it down. Two big pieces of news started a rally earlier this week. The first was China. I don't know if you guys remember the China Airlines crash a few months back and, it tanked the stock. But it turned out that it was a suicide mission or it was intentional by the pilot. And the second piece of news for Boeing was more orders for planes came in. So I'm going to tell you, this stock is beaten down way too low at the 127 per share price. I think it's going to be a really good stock, and I think it's one of the real bargains out there. Boeing is also making moves to try to launch their own Starliner spacecraft that's supposed to dock with the space station. Now, They compete for this space, or should I say they compete in space, directly with Elon Musk's SpaceX program. You know, I kind of think I know who's going to win that race, but here's my real question. And think about this. Why is it that all the modern spacecraft look like giant penises? No, really, look at this picture, right? So you guys online, look at this picture. Here's the SpaceX rocket, right? And now take a look at the Boeing rocket. Now, I wonder which rocket is bigger. I'm going to say that Musk must have more money, so it probably means that his rocket doesn't have to be as big. I guess I have rocket envy, I don't know. All right, can somebody give me some Viagra or maybe a booster rocket? I bet I just made Paul and Rob laugh. All right, anyway, getting back to the stock market, which was certainly deflating this week. You guys have dirty minds. Anyway, we're touching the bear market, and, it's kind of definition, it's kind of scary, and it's dancing right above that red thin line. You know, it's inevitable that the market's going to drop, and as I've said before, I expect it to go down to 28,000, and the real question is when. When we need a few pop-ups before this happens, especially with my current plays like CCL. I can't believe how low some of these stocks is at. I mean, CCL is trading at 13.6. I can't look anymore. I mean, it's really terrible. All right, let's take a look at the futures, because at least that's something to on the bright side. Right now, the Dow is up 260, the S&P is up 42, and the Nasdaq is up 178. All right, real quick, couple of people have joined us too. We got Andrew, and we got Sal and Dan and James. Thanks so much. All right, let's talk about Elon Musk. So, what happens when you turn your colors from blue to red? Well, you're going to have sexual misconduct claims against you, of course. Elon Musk has now voiced his disdain against the current government and the Biden administration. And he's attempting to buy Twitter because he believes that they are a company that are currently practicing unconstitutional values. He even recently came out and said that he will not be voting for Democrats as he has done in the past. Apparently, the Democrats have awakened the richest man on the planet. Well, as usual, and right from their playbook, the Democrats have launched a smear campaign to discredit Musk. As usual, the best way to do this is to find a woman that will make claims of sexual harassment against him, and apparently, Musk has made sexual advances and asked a flight attendant for a massage. This was on a flight that was on SpaceX, so it was a private flight. Apparently, she was paid $250,000 for a silence. Now, I keep wondering what her stage name must have been. You know, we had Trump and the incident with Stormy Daniels, and now we have Musk with his incident and this woman. You know, Musk being Musk took to Twitter. There's another similarity to Trump, isn't there? Anyway, Musk posted on Twitter, and, he had some retorts saying, and including, if I was inclined to engage in sexual harassment, this would unlikely be the first time in my 30-year career that it comes to life. He wrote that the story is a politically motivated hit piece. Now, when he says, if I were inclined to engage in sexual harassment, this is unlikely to be the first time in my 30-year career that it comes to light, he basically gave the Democrats a challenge. That wasn't very smart. So, as usual, the Democrats are going to be working on finding stuff on Musk to show how superior they really are. The most interesting part of this story is that the flight attendant did not come forward with this information. It was a friend of the flight attendant. So really, we're kind of getting secondhand information here anyway. And, it's basically stories told from one person to another. Reminds me of Bill Clinton, right? The friend claims that the flight attendant received $250,000 severance package and signed a non-disclosure agreement. And I'm kind of wondering if the friend got more than that to talk to reporters about the incident. In my mind, it's refreshing to see a billionaire who was once a Democrat, now on the right side of the fence. Maybe we could even get Musk to invent a voting machine that can't be rigged, right? So look for more shenanigans as the Democrats or the Democrats continue to work on this perceived problem. The problem of allowing a billionaire to fight for the Constitution, that is. By the way, who has odds on Musk running for president within the next 20 years? I'm going to go for it. I think it's true. Hey, by the way, Hey, let's talk a little bit about existing home sales. Hey, are we there yet? Is the bubble bursting? Are we going broke? Well, not quite, but some pain is definitely on the way. Look, I've been saying that this would be the last good year for home sales until we go through the next cycle. The times of putting your home the time of putting your home on a market and getting 20 offers as the real estate agent plants the sign in the ground are now coming to a halt. Look, before I scare you out of putting your house up for sale, we are still in a pretty heated market, however, right? Sales of previously owned homes, the only problem is sales of previously owned homes in April fell to the lowest pace since the COVID pandemic started. According to the National Association of Realtors, existing home sales declined 2.4% compared with March to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of 5.61 million units. Sales were 5.9% lower than in April 2021. Now think about this, that's the slowest rate since June 2020, which was artificially slow since the economy was struggling with sweeping shutdowns due to coronavirus. So if I understand the article I sourced this information from, that means we are now at the level of home sales we were when the industry was shut down because of coronavirus. That's a serious problem. Now, what's interesting, though, is we have two opposing issues here. One is the interest rates rising, and the other is lack of inventory. So lack of inventory is keeping home prices up, and now the median home price of the median home price sold in April was $391,000, and that's the highest on record and an increase of 14.8% from a year ago. But we do have interest rates rising, and that lowers the buying power for most buyers. We still have many new home buyers being outbid by cash buyers, and we still have what I believe are crazy investors paying too much money for investment properties. Look, the projections are definitely showing a slowing of home buying, and shortly the rate of rising house prices will reverse. Best advice I can give you right now is that if that your house is at the top of the price range right now, at least for the next 5 to 7 years, it's not going to get any higher. On this topic, I was having conversations with one of my staff members yesterday about how the best time to learn real estate investing is now. And the reason is for this is you'll fully understand the concepts and methods of buying great deals just as the market changes. Hey, you can find out about how you can do that by listening to this commercial.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry Steinhouse, an expert in real estate, financial literacy, and the ins and outs of the stock market. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate, and you will learn mastery of stock techniques such as options and covered calls. You will even get a chance to ask your one burning question to the stock option sultan, the master of picks and plays. Call today for free information and receive a complimentary pass to attend classes or register online at investorschooling.com. Don't delay. These passes are limited, so what are you waiting for? Call in today or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn how to make more money. Hit that share button, guys. All you guys out there watching, hit that share button right now. All right, so far, of course, we've been discussing the futures update. Right now, the futures are up 250. The Dow is up 250, that is. The S&P is up 41, and the NASDAQ is up 177. We talked about Elon Musk being targeted by the Democrats. That's going to be really interesting. We talked about the fact that home sales are starting to slow, but they're still pretty hot. We also have coming up, we have Apple's VR headset. We have $40 billion going to Ukraine. And then, of course, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you guys hit that share button? Come on, I know you guys online. Hit that like button, hit that share button. And don't forget to leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. And also look up Money Chat Now page on Facebook when you get home. And let me know what you think of the show. Hey, by the way, before we start the second half, real quick, are you ready for the financial downturn or the recession that's expected? Well, if you want to survive through it, you should order my new book. Go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse, pre-order it, and I promise you will learn something. There are chapters in this book about how to make more money and chapters how to pay less taxes. Learn from me as I give you an overview of my favorite lessons and hacks that I've learned about money. Order Money Hacks today wherever you find fine books. Hey, let's get into the second half. All right, let's talk about Apple's VR headset. So virtual reality is coming, and honestly, there's no stopping it. We're seeing that Meta is trying to be on the forefront of the technology and is helping to create and dominate the metaverse. Apple is now rumored to be making a play in this arena with something being deemed as augmented reality headsets. These headsets, with the future generation, are said to be the size of regular glasses. They will use special cameras and screens to add visuals to your existing world. Now, I could see some interesting uses for these glasses, but I'm going to tell you the best one will be for married people. Yep, married people, men especially. All right, now before your mind goes in the gutter, and yes, of course, you can use it for that too, I was thinking that now men can actually look up at their wives while they talk to them instead of looking down at their phones. Can you imagine what's going on in the glasses at that moment? Anyway, some will be watching sports, other TV, others will be checking their virtual Facebook account, and I'll let you use your imagination, but it could be fun. Hey, remember the movie Shallow Hal, where the main character only saw the good in people and transformed them into beautiful people in his eyes? Maybe this will work like that as well. Hey, don't worry, honey. Linda, I'm telling you right now, I don't need no stinking glasses. You look great to me always. Hey, is that a unicorn in my glasses? Apple, by the way, has not confirmed this product yet, but this appears to be the typical new product leak to the press. I believe Google and Meta are also working on this product, and I would imagine that Amazon will probably come up with something pretty soon too. And my guess is that Apple will introduce this in September when they have their annual new product launch. And if it's a hit, it could be the next iPhone game changer for the company. In fact, if it's done properly, they could even replace the iPhone. Maybe they could just change the spelling to E-Y-E, phone. All right. When is a war not a war? When people funding the war keep it going just so they can fund the war. Apparently, the Donbas region of Ukraine is completely wiped out. Russia is still bombarding the Ukraine, and there is no end in sight. It's apparent from the beginning that Ukraine could not win, so why is the war still going on? Very simple. We, the United States, keep sending money, supplies, and weapons to Ukraine. All right, I get the concept of, oh, these poor people being bombed by the evil dictator Putin, but hey, all we're doing is literally adding fuel to the fire. Now we sent another $40 million to Ukraine to help them fight a war that's just making their country a training ground for testing weapons. I'm sorry in advance to all of you virtual signals out there who have Ukraine flags in your house, but we need to stop this war by not sending any more money to Ukraine. Yeah, maybe we should send some money for humanitarian purposes like food and water, but we cannot fund weapons any longer. Besides the fact that it's prolonging the war, that money could be used here in America for much better purposes. You remember how Biden wanted to cancel student debt and can't find the money? Well, here it is. Biden wanted to lower gas prices. Well, send gas stations money checks to pay for fuel deliveries and have that reflected in the gas prices. Biden wants to build back better? Well, how about stop sending money to places that are destroying everything in an unwinnable war? And finally, I wonder how much baby formula $40 million could buy from other countries to feed our children. This is ridiculous. Stop it already. These people, they just don't learn. They just keep making war and making war and making war by sending money. All right, let's take a quick break, and I will talk to you guys in about a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I've written a book called Money Hacks. The subtitle to this book is because everything you think you know about money is wrong, and I promise you there are things you think about money that are wrong. There are chapters in this book that I think you will find absolutely fascinating, and some of them are, what is money anyway? Can money buy happiness? I'll bet you don't know the answer to that question. The truth about credit scores, how you can actually use credit cards to rebuild your credit. I also have chapters on being your own bank, how to buy houses with an IRA, and how to invest with other people's money. There are so many other chapters. There are 22 total chapters in this book, and I promise you're going to learn how to make more money and pay less taxes when you buy this book. My name is Larry Steinhouse. The name of the book is Money Hacks. You can get this book wherever fine books are sold, and you can go to barnesandnoble.com right now and pre-order it. I hope that you will enjoy it. right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And by the way, we're having a book launch. If you guys want to go to this book launch, the book launch is on June 1st. And if you go to moneyhacksbook.com, moneyhacksbook.com, you can register now for $27.
Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I've written a book called Money Hacks.
We're going to feed you. We're going to talk to you about some cool financial stuff, and I'll even sign your book if you want to bring one. Okay. And by the way, the jacket I'll be wearing will also match the book cover, like I did in the video. All right, so far, of course, we've been discussing the futures update, and we've been talking about how the futures are up right now, 265. The S&P is up 45, and the NASDAQ is up 195. We talked about Elon Musk and how the Democrats are targeting him. We talked about home sales. They're kind of like, they're on their way to moving the other way, but they're still pretty hot. We talked about Apple's VR headset and how great my wife looks if I don't wear one. And we also talked about $40 billion going to Ukraine. So, coming up, we also have today's picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit that like button? Did you guys hit that share button yet? Hey, let everybody know what great stock plays are coming by sharing this information. You could share it on your page or in groups that you feel would benefit from the information. So hit that share button. Come on, guys, hit that share button. Go ahead, guys, all of you guys, hit that share button. Hit it right now. And don't forget, you can leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And I'm looking forward to answering them. Hey, once again, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. All right, let's talk about what's going on today. It looks like it might be a good day. Now, sometimes I like to make predictions, and you guys know I'm pretty good at these predictions, and I'm going to say that the stock market's going to end up about 400 points today. So the Dow will probably end up about 400 points today. The problem is we're not out of the woods yet, though. In order to avoid what is probably an inevitable meltdown, we need to keep the S&P from entering bear market territory. For those of you who don't know, the definition of a bear market is when the S&P drops below 20% of its past current high. So we've been getting very close with the drop being about 19-something%, and it happened twice this week. Scary stuff. The possible good news is that we're hitting what's called a double bottom. So we may be hitting a double bottom, or we may be dropping out. If the market, and basically when a double bottom is, the market kind of drops, and it goes back up, and then it drops really quickly, and basically what's happening is that the money managers are testing the market to see where they should get in. If the buyers are out there and they feel more confident that the rise will stay for a while, the market will move forward. As I have been saying, I believe the temporary range we're now in is probably 31,000-ish to 33,000-ish, but it won't stay there long. So my goal is I think it's going to start moving into the 33,000-ish range, right? And we're going to be inching down each quarter. Remember that I still think that we're going to be inching down each quarter. I think we're heading down to 28,000 inevitably. By the way, I also added more CCL to my portfolio yesterday. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I'm going to need a cruise just to get my mind off this play. Are puts to play now? They might be, right? Look for a big gain day, maybe more than 800 points, and then SPY puts would be a good play. Park your money. If you're nervous and you're scared, park your money temporarily in slow-moving dividend-paying stocks with low multiples. You know, you won't have much gain, but most importantly, you won't have much loss. And look, if you have a 401k and you're seeing red, well, you need to do two things about it. First, stop looking at it. And second, vote Republican in November. All right, let's take a final look at the futures. Right now, the Dow is up 281, the S&P is up 46, and the NASDAQ is up 200. Nice. All right, real quick, let's talk about crypto. I stated yesterday that I thought crypto might be losing all of its steam due to the economy slowdown. Look, people just don't have the extra money to gamble with Bitcoin anymore. And right now, Bitcoin is slightly above 30,000 again. I believe it probably will stay here a few weeks while the market tries to forget the sting of the devaluation of the digital asset. So it might be a play. I'm not a big fan of crypto. I've been saying that for many years. You know, I bought a little bit of it. I made like $20,000. I did it for fun, but I'm just not a big fan of it. But if you want to get into it, Bitcoin at 30,000 is probably a good play. Ethereum, I think, is right around 2,000 right now, too, so that might be a good play, too. But you have to make these decisions on your own. It's just, it might not be the place to be. I'm nervous about it. I think that if crypto would have actually been, taken off. In other words, a lot of people are buying crypto, that's fine, but it's not really mainstream. People aren't able to use it to buy stuff right now. I know you have a couple of online sites that'll do it, but it's not really as mainstream as I expected it. And on the other side, if it becomes mainstream, what's going to happen is once it becomes mainstream, it's going to stay in a range. It's just going to be another transaction for the dollar. So it's not going to be much different. So either way, it's bad news for Bitcoin. The good news for Bitcoin holders is that if it does become more mainstream, at least they won't lose any more money. But the concept of whether Bitcoin is going to go up or down, I don't think it's going to go up much more. You know, they had people wanting it to hit 100,000. You know, some people said, "Oh, it's going to hit 1 million one day." You had to laugh at those people. But some people were saying it was going to hit 1,000 when it hit 60,000. But I don't think it's got that chance. I think, you know, if we get between 30 and 40 and we range there, you guys will be pretty lucky if you bought it now and then sold it at maybe 38, maybe even 40. But I don't know. I'm not into it. I wasn't into it, and I still don't think I think it's a good idea, at least not yet. Gold and silver are still great buys too. Seriously, take what's left from your crypto money and buy gold and silver. It's probably going to be a good choice. Gold right now is around 1850, and silver is around 22 right now. All right, we got Treasury bonds. The Treasury bond rate is right around 2.8%, and it's been standing still for about a week. And it's just a matter of time before the rate goes into the mid-threes and Wall Street panics again. So watch for this, because what's going to happen is Wall Street's going to panic like they always do when the bond rate goes over 3%, and it's going to probably hit 3.5%, and that'll be the next really big panic. So watch for it. It's just going to happen. Oil prices are rising again. Hey, by the way, did you know that the average gas price is now about $4.70? $4.70 for regular. Let's go, Brandon. Anyway, the barrel price is now it's 112, but I still have to say that I think Memorial Day weekend is a factor here. We always get a bump in oil prices this time of year, so I'm not that concerned with it. I think it's really just inflated by Memorial Day weekend this time. Hey, don't forget to go and pre-order the book, my book, Money Hacks, and don't forget to sign up for June 1st event. June 1st, we'll be having the book launch. I think you're going to have a really good time. Actually, I know I'm going to have a good time, and I'd love to have you guys there with me. Hey, I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. I want to thank you for your continued support, and if you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let me know. My name is Larry Steinhouse. Have a profitable day.